Hello, everybody. I wanted to talk to you about the individual book study, which I put under the big umbrella theme of intercultural awareness, which is one of the many things we talk about in comparative international development education. So in that book study module, what you'll be doing is you'll be picking one of 3 books, and then you'll be doing a set of activities with that book. So if you click here on book study options, you'll see you've got your 3 choices. So this one, let me turn off my... Well, I think you can see it. The Spirit Catches You and You Fall Down by Ann Faidman. This one, I'll read the back. Spirit Catches You and You Fall Down explores the clash between a small country hospital in California and a refugee family from Laos over the care of Leah Lee, a Hmong child diagnosed with severe epilepsy. Leah's parents and her doctors both wanted what was best for Leah, but the lack of understanding between them led to tragedy. Winner of the National Books Critics Circle Award for Nonfiction, the Los Angeles Times Book Prize for Current Interest, and the Boston Book Review RIA Award for Nonfiction. And Faidman's compassionate account of this cultural impasse is literary journalism at its finest. So that is that one. Spirit Catches You and You Fall Down. You can also choose Chasing Chaos, My Decade in and Out of Humanitarian Aid by Jessica Alexander. Jessica Alexander arrived in Rwanda in the aftermath of the 1994 genocide as an idealistic intern eager to contribute to the work of the international humanitarian aid community. The world she encountered in the field was messy, chaotic, and difficult, but she was hooked. And then it's honest and irreverent memoir. Alexander introduces readers to the realities of life as an aid worker. We watch as she manages a 24,000-person camp in Darfur, collects evidence for the Charles Taylor trial in Sierra Leone, and contributes to the massive aid effort in Haiti. But we also see the alcohol-fueled parties and fleeting romances, the burnouts and self-doubt, and the struggle to do good in places that have long endured suffering. Tracing her personal journey from wide-eyed and naive newcomer to hardened cynic, and ultimately to hopeful but critical realist, Alexander shows us not only the seemingly impossible challenges, but also the moments of resilience and recovery. So that's that one. And then the third one, The New Kids, Big Dreams and Brave Journeys at a High School for Immigrant Teens. Some walked across deserts and mountains to get here. One arrived after escaping in a suitcase, and others won't say how they got here. These are the new kids, new to America and all the routines and rituals of an American high school, from lonely first days to prom. They attend Brooklyn's International High School at Prospect Heights, where all the students are recent immigrants learning English. Together, they come from more than 45 countries and speak more than 28 languages. An inspiring work of narrative journalism, The New Kids chronicles a year in the lives of teenage newcomers who are at once ordinary and extraordinary in their paths to the American dreams. So this has different vignettes of different real student immigrant teen stories that are presented in that book. So you pick one of those 3. You pick which one you want. Very different books. And then here's the overview. What you'll be doing, you'll be reading them. You'll also have rereading chapters 2 and chapter 6 out of the Bickmore book, just to kind of continue our conversation in context. And then you have 3 components for your book study activities. There's a journal. I want you to keep track of some things as you're reading, discussion questions, and then a choice board with 3 activities. We have 3 weeks for this. My suggestion is that you finish your book and your discussion questions 2 weeks in, and post those, get them out of the way, and then spend that remaining last week on refining your choice board activities. But those are just suggested due dates. But we have to have everything complete by the 3rd when I see you in a synchronous session. So if you click here, it walks you through. Everybody completes part 1, which is keep the journal. And here's some things to consider, as you don't have to turn it in, but we're going to share parts of that in our synchronous session. Everyone does part 2, 5 to 7 deep, thoughtful, connected reflection discussion questions for this book that could be used in future semesters when I teach with it. And then choice boards. So you choose one from each column. So you've got one from column A. These are curating additional resources or books similar to yours that you're reading, or videos that could accompany the book to kind of give more contextual information. And an explanation of the resources that you've compiled. You choose one of these. You choose one of these, which is a written reflection or book review, 2 to 3 pages, professional book review. Or if you're reading Spirit Catches You and You Fall Down, there's some specific kind of critiques of the book that I want you to read and then respond to, or any other 2 to 3 page text response, your choice, but just clear it with me in advance. And then choose one from column C, a curriculum unit for a specific population. Tell me which population, who's using this book for something. And professional development, this says for educators, could be for any population. It's Google Doc. So I'm going to change it. And so you can share which population. You don't, and we're just outlining these. We're not like completing them or developing or putting all the materials in, etc. Or think about the context specific. So immigrant life, thinking about any of the context around humanitarian aid, or the context around the Hmong immigrants, or any of those specific things, whatever you want from the context of the book. And then create, so not curate, but create your own multimedia resources that would go with that book. So those are your 3 options. Go back here again. So you're reading. You're also reading 2 chapters from the textbook. And then you've got a journal. You're keeping track of your thoughts to share with us in our synchronous session. You're writing just very thoughtful discussion questions that we can utilize. And you're choosing an activity from column A, an activity from column B, and an activity from column C in your book choice board. So all of those things are linked here. And if you do pick that reading in column B where you're responding to the critiques of Spirit Catches You, these are your additional linked articles to read and consider. If you have any questions about any of this, please don't hesitate to let me know, and I will see you online.